Trying to make a living making music seems like absolutely impossible now. I mean, I guess that's always been the case, but now it seems like there's literally millions of musicians online now, all pushing and shoving each other to get themselves noticed in the public eye in every niche and genre you can possibly imagine. So is it actually impossible at this point to make music online and make a living from it? Well, no, but it is really hard. I've been doing this music for a living thing for quite a while now, and I've been able to sustain it for a good amount of time. So I'd like to share a few of the tips I've learned along the way to hopefully help you. I'm going to try to give tips that not everyone gives, like, diversify your income streams and make a demo reel and all of that stuff. I'm kind of hoping that this video provides some, maybe new tips that other YouTubers haven't, shown or provided. But I do have to say that this video is actually sponsored by DistroKid, which ties into the first tip that I want to give. Number 10. Don't be afraid of making covers. When I started making music, I'd scoff at all these bands doing cover songs at shows. I'd always be elitistly saying, write your own damn music. But there are actually a lot more reasons to learn covers than just having fun learning some of your favorite artists' music. First of all, we're in a magical age where you can very easily make money doing it. DistroKid is probably the easiest and cheapest way to get your music, cover or not, on stores like iTunes, Spotify, etc. You sign up for just $20 a year for unlimited uploads. DistroKid doesn't take any cuts after that, so it's really, really good. You can upload a single or a full album, whatever you want, and it takes care of the rest. If you record a cover and you want to sell that, you just give them the info of the original composer and they take care of all of the rest. They hooked me up with a promo code that'll shave 7% off that $20 if you sign up at distrokid.com/VIP/FamilyJules. Covers also really take a load off of the process of making a song. If the song is already composed, you can spend more time on getting good recording takes or producing the song. It's invaluable for getting really good at this stuff the fastest. And finally, it's just easier to be discovered. If you're making original music, that can be hard for people to find you, but people are constantly looking for covers of their favorite music. Chances are, if you cover something you like, that'll drive people to want to listen to your original music. Just make sure if you want to go down this road that you try not to abandon covers entirely down the road. Otherwise, the fans you've made doing covers might feel kind of bait and switched. Number 9, just put it out. Your music is gonna grow with you, so don't wait until some sign from the heavens to tell you you're good enough to put your music out there. Even if you make something perfect now, if you're getting better, you will still look back on it in a year and just be like, ugh, I could have played that one line better or something. Look at it this way. There will never be a day that your music will be objectively the best thing in the universe forever. But even if you put out your music right now, there's no way it'll be the worst thing available online, trust me. Publishing music is an art form in itself, and it takes practice. You didn't sit there staring at your guitar until something or someone told you it was time to finally start practicing. You picked it up and you sucked for a while until you didn't suck as bad. Unfortunately, it's gonna be the same for putting music out there. So why not start putting out music today? Worst case scenario, it's bad, and after you've put out tons more music, you can delete it. But you shouldn't. It's cool for fans to see how far you've come. Growth as a musician is way more exciting to watch, in my opinion, than someone who just stays the same skill level the whole time. I know what a lot of you guys are saying now though, but Jules, my equipment sucks. I can't sound good without this $5,000 interface. My tip, 9.5, is use what you have. There's always gonna be better equipment, but you don't need good equipment to make a good product. You can make a viral sensation with just your webcam and a guitar. Waiting to get better equipment can become an excuse to not start at all. Make something you're passionate about with what you have now, and you can always revisit it later if you really want to. Every artist you love started with what they have, because if they waited for the best equipment, they never would have even started. And even if they were rich as hell starting out and they bought an Axe FX 3, they probably wouldn't have the experience to even know what to do with it. So start putting stuff out, today. Number 8, first 5 seconds. Catch them or they're gone. Try to grab the attention of the listener quickly if you can, instead of just having this long drawn out intro, when you can. If you're making a prog epic, then maybe an intro is what people want to hear, but generally try to get to the point quick. When you're making your song, try to value the time of the listener. Look at the song you're making as if it's going to be shown to a friend of a dude who's like, yo, check out this video, it's sick. I mean, you've probably been that guy and sat there, waiting for the song to get good, and it gets really uncomfortable and it takes too long, and then just because of that anticipation, you just don't care. Just get to that point, fast. I think Kyle Gass actually said it best. Don't bore us, get to the chorus. After you've got their attention, use time, feel, key, or other dynamic changes throughout to keep it interesting. Personally, if I have a repeated part, I love to find a way to change the drum groove or reharmonize it with a few different chords if I can. Repetition is key to making a catchy song, but definitely explore ways to keep it fresh. You've got to use all the tools you've got to keep the attention. Consider the audience and strive to make a song that you yourself would enjoy listening to. Number 7, train your ears by appealing to yourself. Work to improve your own musical ear rather than attempt to appeal to a general audience. Trying to appeal to a large audience is just too broad, and you'll never feel like you're on a straight path if that's all that's dictating your songwriting or production decisions. If you constantly work towards making things sound good to you, that will improve like a muscle, and you will get more gains than, constantly trying to keep up with the feedback and comments from your audience. It's very easy online to feel like a random commenter might know more about what they're criticizing you for, and maybe they do, but that can send you down a less than ideal path. Pretty soon you'll start making decisions based on what you think people want to hear, but you can't always know that, and you're never going to appeal to everyone, so aim to appeal to yourself, and the others will be a nice bonus. Number 6, play for the journey, not the high score. This is so hard when now, more than ever, everything relating to your influence and reach has a number that triggers in our brain like a leaderboard position against our peers. Don't make view counts the single most important thing to you making music online. Enjoy what you're doing and try to keep moving, no matter what. This is extremely tricky if you're referring to your growth to dictate where you go as an artist. Knowing what gets views is an excellent decision-making tool, but it's good to strike a balance with making smart business decisions and making smart artist decisions. You don't want to lean too far one way or the other. When deciding a direction of your original song or a cover, ask yourself if that decision is a good balance between the two. Personally, I find I'm at my happiest when I'm working on stuff rather than sitting and watching my views and comments climb. I mean, this could be different for you, but when I dreamt of making a living playing music, I pictured me playing my instrument rather than staring at, a Social Blade sub count. So try to do that stuff as less as possible, no matter how exciting or depressing it might be. If you're having trouble feeling inferior to your peers, try to remember to compare yourself to how you're progressing, rather than comparing yourself to someone else on their completely different musical journey from yours. Number 5, ask for feedback from your peers. When you're posting stuff to YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever, if you're getting a good amount of views, chances are you're also getting plenty of feedback. Though some of this feedback might be good, you can't always trust feedback from someone anonymous that might not have your best interests in mind. There are plenty of people out there super eager to critique something only to try and flex knowledge that they think they have, but that doesn't do you any good. This is why it's good to surround yourself with musicians you respect and that respect you. Finding even one other musician who wants the best for you musically is invaluable to you. They will give you criticism that will help you, and you can trust it. That's not to say that you should completely disregard internet comments, though. Sometimes having unbiased anonymous comments can be helpful if, sometimes chaotic. If you want to be sure the criticisms about your music are leading you on the best road, though, make sure to put a bit more weight on the comments from your peers instead of the comments from some random guy in Brazil who may or may not be telling the truth that he's a Grammy Award-winning producer here to give you tips on your Megalovania cover. Number 4. Motivation often needs a push from you. Very often, the hardest part of working on something is simply just sitting down and starting it. If you're not feeling motivated to work on something, you can find yourself slipping into this feeling like working on a project you once had all this new, exciting energy for now feels like a chore you need to finish before you can take on anything new. Kind of like your Steam library, right? My trick to combat this is just make yourself work on it for 10 minutes. That's it. Tell yourself that you just want to open the project, maybe give it a once-over, make a spot check, or record a verse section, and then stop. more times than not, I bet you'll get into the swing of it and remember why it's so enjoyable to work on. The trick is to try and not force yourself to the point where you hate it, of course, but this whole thing becomes a skill too. You will train yourself to be productive regardless of inspiration or motivation. What makes you enjoy a project is activating the reward centers in your brain from those small successes that you get along the way. Getting even just one good take can give you that addictive dopamine hit that'll make you want to do just a little bit more. Thinking about taking on a whole project, kind of like the way you do when you're sitting around thinking like, oh, I gotta finish that thing. I mean, it's dreadful for anyone to think about that whole project, but that's not really how it works. You gotta remind yourself that working on a project is just kind of like a series of small wins, each of which provide a reward that will give you the energy to finish it, but only if you let it. Number 3, delete unhelpful hate. If there's a comment that's blatantly hurtful or unconstructive, just delete it. Don't engage in the negativity. A comment saying, hey, the high end is really annoying, cut that out. Maybe they could have worded that better, but that isn't hate. He's doing his best to try to help you out. Hate is when someone comments on your song and says, you ruined the song and you should die. There's nothing helpful about that, and that person does not have your best interests in mind. You don't owe him anything or anyone else anything, and the worst thing you can do is draw any attention to it. The best thing that I've found, having tried many ways of dealing with blatant hate, is if it's affecting me in any way or I'm thinking about it longer than I want to, remove the negativity from existence sooner rather than later, so you can get back to not letting that negativity have any hold on you any longer than it needs to. It is tempting to totally wreck someone and getting all that validation of people coming to your defense with hundreds of up-likes, but trying to get people to gang up on a person for expressing their opinion, regardless of, how badly they express that, is usually just trying to get instant gratification in lieu of feeling hurt by a comment, and it's generally just not a good look. The best way to move past negativity is encourage positivity by responding to nice things and putting the animosity out of your mind as fast as possible. Just don't give that stuff attention. Having been a hater myself in the past, I used to go on Dragon Force videos, and I love Dragon Force, but I used to, be like, oh, the guitars are sped up or they're fake, just because I wanted to get a rise out of people when I was a kid. And I can tell you, I just did it because I really enjoyed, getting that kind of attention, getting people all riled up. So don't give that to them. Number 2, don't blame the algorithm of your platform. Too often people put so much blame on not being pushed in YouTube search or suggested feeds, and that's very well a thing that can hinder you. But you can be heard with or without YouTube's help. I myself get stuck in this trap of blaming YouTube for not pushing my videos, especially after getting comments of people being like, whoa, I thought you stopped uploading. Strive to make content that people will share to their friends, so you don't have to rely on YouTube pushing your videos. YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, etc. None of them work for you, nor do they owe you anything. In fact, the understanding of most of these algorithms is that if you make consistent content that people find organically, they see that as content that will keep the viewers glued to their platform, and then that'd be in their best interest to push you more. And finally, number 1, it's a marathon, not a sprint. There always seems to be this thirst for making a viral success, and we think in such a short term that if we just go viral, then we'll be famous and everything will be great, happily ever after. But viral hits do not equal success in the long term. Many of the most successful channels and artists have had multiple and consecutive songs and videos that go viral. There should be more of a focus on maximizing the balance of quality and quantity over a long period of time. Perhaps eventually, that rhythm you get yourself in can be churning out viral sensations often. A huge part of why a song or video goes viral is definitely luck, but I believe luck is what happens when opportunity meets preparation. I think I heard Steve-O said that once. A video that could be viral doesn't always happen at the right time, and therefore it doesn't meet its audience. But also, by not taking the shot in the first place means you miss anyway. Think of every video as a dice roll and load the dice with as much quality as you possibly can, because you can. You have more chances to get a very successful video the more times you roll rather than putting all of your eggs in one basket. So that's it. Maybe none of these helped you, or you disagree with some of them. But if it's a video that could help anyone who's in a rut or scared to move forward, then I think it did its job. I hope I get to hear some of your music soon, and don't forget to use DistroKid/VIP/FamilyJules to get it out to stores. Also, big thanks to Miss Sayanella for animating this video. I've always wanted to try one of these videos, and boy, I hope she didn't make me look stupid. All right, I appreciate you guys. See you later.